I'm Rem Banchetti and I'm 5 years old.
He'd had fevers for about a year, a little bit more than a year, and I had noticed that it had become a pattern. One day at home, he got a terrible pain in his side. He just started screaming and rolling around on the bed and rolled off onto the floor, grabbing his side and saying it's sore, it's sore, it's sore. I thought he was having an appendicitis. I thought his appendix had burst, to be honest. They did the ultrasound and you can see there's something wrong by their faces, but they won't say. And they spent a long time doing the ultrasound, and then he called somebody else in, another doctor in, and they were looking at each other, and I'm thinking, what's going on? As we were leaving, they handed me his x-rays and said, we've made an appointment with your doctor, you need to go straight there. We sat down and with Remo in the room, and the doctor looked down, the GP, and he just said, Deborah, there's no easy way to tell you this. Remo's got stage 4 cancer, and I get so emotional. He's got less than 6 months to live. Your son's gonna die. There's nothing we can do about it. My mother picked Remo up and grabbed him and ran out the room, and as she did that, she said to the doctor, how dare you, how can you say that in front of a child? And Kiana, who's very close to him, just literally ran from wall to wall, just going, no, 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 not my brother, not my brother. And I felt like my soul had left my body, honestly. I felt like I was actually looking down at all of this from the top of the room. And I was on my knees and I begged him. I said, please, please tell me that it's not that. And he just kept going, no, I'm sorry, it just is.
And I sat there, and I just remember my mom sitting there, and she sat me down, she just looked me in the face and she said, Remo has cancer. And I was like, out of all the memories I have, that's probably the clearest one, because it's honestly as if your world is literally sliced in half. It's like, you don't know whether to believe it, you can't believe it's happening, you feel all these things, and then...
It's such a long, long journey, and you have no idea what you're in for. The Royal Children's in Brisbane services the whole of Queensland, so every child with cancer comes to that ward. The first time you walk in, you just see all these kids holding the poles, on drips, bald. You walk past, you hear children vomiting. It's just screaming, and I promise you, it's like walking into a torture chamber. They showed me how big the tumour was, and I asked how many lesions in his lungs, because they said he would need lung surgery in addition to surgery to remove his kidney. And I asked how many lesions in the lungs, and he said there were too many to count. It definitely united us. I think we realized that we were in something that was so much bigger than us, and something that we had no control over this. And the only thing we had control over was how we reacted to it, how we dealt with it, and how we stood together in love and prayer as a family. You can't go through something like that and not be bonded by that experience.
Having to watch him like sit there and screaming, and just like the pain he went through, it was really hard.
it's brought us close as a family to God as well. It's shown us how powerful prayer is, because we truly believe Remo is a miracle. From going from having 6 months to live to the position he's in now, really, it's a miracle. It's an act of God, and we truly believe it's because of prayer. So often people talk about miracles and how amazing prayer is, and you should pray and all these kind of things, and you're like, oh no, that's great, but you never really experience it in your life. And through this, as sad as the situation as it was, it really did show us that prayer works and how powerful it is and how powerful God is if you have faith.
And